네 예비비 1억 12만 3천 원. 하룻밤 준다. 어디 가서 빌어오건 훔쳐오건 해결해라.
Paying your debts is just basic decency, but when it's the kids who have to pay for their parents' mistakes, things get messy real fast. In Incheon, the city's biggest loan shark syndicate has one top enforcer, Woo Gon. He only handles the nastiest cases when he shows up. Somebody usually ends up in the hospital, or worse, but this time, he let someone off easy. Why? Because it's about his little sister Il-young. Il-young isn't just your average enforcer, she's a full-blown villain. Just like her brother, she knows the harsh truth: if you're not ruthless, you're irrelevant. And when it comes to deadbeats, she doesn't mess around.
갚어. 갚으라고.
일단은 처음 맞자.
If someone tries to play dumb or stall, she'll even go as far as threatening their families. On one job, she dealt with a defiant debtor by showing him just how serious she could get. The guy dropped to his knees, begging and swearing he'd pay back every cent by next week. Still, she made sure he felt the lesson. Her raw, no BS approach crushed his swagger in seconds, but Il-young's toughness didn't come out of nowhere. As a baby, she was abandoned in a storage locker. A homeless man took her in, and they lived on the streets until she was 5. Then came a brutal twist during a city cleanup sweep. A dirty cop kidnapped her. He owed the loan sharks big time and figured a little girl might square the debt. The boss of the operation everyone calls her mother has only one rule: if it's valuable, it's collateral. And Il-young? With that fierce stare and a natural killer instinct, Mother knew she was worth a lot. Mother's shady empire isn't hiding in the shadows, it's boldly operating right in Incheon's Chinatown. With a bag of tricks that dances on the edge of legality, she's like a dark goddess of cash handing out predatory loans to Chinese migrant workers desperate to make a living in Korea. It's all about the profit, and if someone can't pay up, Mother makes damn sure she squeezes out every last drop of their value. When it comes to kids handed over as debt payment, Mother takes no waste to the extreme. If the kids got skills, they get pulled into the organization. If they're useless, she sends them to beg on the streets. To her, they're not children, they're just tools. Mercy doesn't exist in her world. Under Mother's brutal survival of the fittest doctrine, Il-young slowly rose to become her right-hand woman. Among all of Mother's adopted kids, Woo Gon is the eldest and most trusted, her ride or die. Third son Hongju isn't the sharpest, but he's blindly loyal. When he and Woo Gon work together, destruction follows. Then there's little sister Song, timid but sharp. She's Il-young's closest friend, and in this ruthless gang, she always seemed out of place. One day, Il-young went out on a routine debt collection run, but when the debtor's door swung open, she hesitated, didn't even pull her knife. The man who opened the door was unusually kind. He didn't dodge the debt, he took full responsibility for his father's loan. He even invited Il-young in for noodles, humbly asking for more time. He was just a worker, crushed under his dad's massive debt, with no way to pay it all at once. Il-young, who never fell for sweet talk, felt something shift this time. In this total stranger, she sensed a warmth and goodness she'd never known, but that moment of compassion came back to haunt her. Back at home, Il-young got a desperate call from Song. She found her disoriented and barely coherent. Il-young helped her escape whatever mess she'd been dragged into, and took her away, wanting nothing more than to avoid the man who had disgusted her to the core. But life's cruel like that. The one person you pray not to see is always the one who shows up. Second brother Chi-do was the kind of guy everyone hates. He sold contraband to Song, and that sent Il-young into a furious rage.
내가 억지로 짝대기에 꽂은 것도 아니고 송이 지가 먼저 와서 달라고 한 거야.
In his mind, only he gets to discipline his little sister, nobody else has that right. He's already scheming to grow his own gang, which means one thing: he's planning to break away and go solo. But in front of Mother, he's still just a snot-nosed kid trying to play tough. He's got no funds, so if he wants to grow his gang, he still has to go crawling to Mother for a loan. But that doesn't mean he's getting any kind of break on the interest, especially not when he's the rebellious foster son who's never played by the rules. Even so, Mother's real headache isn't Chi-do. From the first time Mother laid eyes on Il-young, she saw a reflection of her younger self. She valued her more than anyone and even saw her as a potential successor, so when Il-young came back empty-handed from her latest debt collection, she doesn't allow Il-young to make mistakes, not at this stage. So she sent Woo-gon to check up on the debtor. That's what led to his stern warning at the start, because Woo-gon knew exactly how Mother thought, and deep down, he feared Il-young might be falling into something dangerous, feelings. But the very thing he feared still happened. As Il-young spent more time with Suk-hyun, she started to crave something she'd never had before: warmth. She even took Song out for girly things, trying on dresses, snapping photos, dreaming of a life beyond the gang. But dreams don't last long in Mother's world. Once she caught wind of Il-young's softening heart, she decided it was time for a brutal wake-up call. She ordered Il-young to go collect Suk-hyun's debt and sent Hongju, her rabbit-attacked dog, to tag along. Il-young knew exactly what that meant, so she stalled him, telling him to wait downstairs, and rushed up alone to warn Suk-hyun to run, but Suk-hyun refused to leave. Then Hongju stormed in. Il-young snapped. Her killer instincts kicked in as she tried to block him, but Hongju only listens to one voice, Mother's. With no other choice, Il-young took him down in a desperate fight, then made a run for it with Suk-hyun, but it was no use. Suk-hyun was captured, Il-young was hit with a tranquilizer and went down. And Mother? She made sure Il-young felt what mercy gets you in this world. She stepped in herself to show Il-young exactly how ruthless leadership is done. Then she sent Suk-hyun to the surgical crew to drain whatever value he had left in him. Il-young saw Mother drenched in blood and blacked out on the spot. After that, Mother handed Il-young over to Chi-do on purpose, a twisted lesson, meant to scare her straight. Woo-gon rushed in to plead for Il-young. He knew her cold exterior hid a soft heart. That's exactly why Mother had to break her, because in this brutal world, softness means death. If Il-young didn't change, she wouldn't survive another second. When Il-young came to, she found herself locked in a room with a group of women Chi-do's merchandise.
근데 꼬라지가 이긴 뭐야? 그러니까 내가 까불지 말라 그랬잖아.
Chi-do saw a chance to humiliate her, but just as he was about to cross the line, Mother called. She gave one strict order: don't lay a finger on Il-young, just scare her a little. Furious, Chi-do hung up and took it all out on Il-young, beating her savagely. But Il-young didn't back down. She pulled a spring-loaded knife and slashed his left eye, then turned the tables, using him as a hostage to escape. When Mother heard what happened to Chi-do, she knew things had escalated. Since things have come this far, there's no choice but to go even harder. Meanwhile, Hongju, dim-witted and petty, was still itching to get revenge on Il-young for knocking him out. In Mother's eyes, Chi-do was becoming the real problem. If she could save him, she would. But if not, then he was just another obstacle in Il-young's way, one she wouldn't hesitate to remove.
엄마, 뭐해?
일영이 털끝 하나 건드리지 말고 내보내라고 했는데.
Chi-do was furious at how Mother favored Il-young. He believed he was smarter, better, more capable than any of the other siblings, yet still overlooked.
돈 없지. 몸으로 갚아.
As the saying goes, defying your parent is as bad as killing them. Anyone who dares scream at the one who raised them isn't worth saving. But to Mother, he was nothing but a disobedient dog. And dogs like that, she doesn't need to get her hands dirty. Mother has no mercy for traitors.
이제 넘버원이야. 말 잘 듣고.
Il-young, constantly hiding and on the run, wanted to sneak back home for one last look before leaving, but she unexpectedly ran into Hongju. Hongju wouldn't listen to a word from Il-young, no matter how well she had treated him in the past. Once he got hit, he held a grudge forever. He attacked Il-young without warning or mercy, and even when she apologized, it didn't matter. At the critical moment, Woo-gon arrived just in time to stop him, but Hongju fought like a rabid dog. During the struggle with Woo-gon, he stabbed a pencil into Woo-gon's neck. Woo-gon ignored the pain and did everything he could to protect Il-young. In the end, to save her, he was forced to kill Hongju and lost his own life in the process.
엄마 미워하면 안 돼.
Il Young didn't even have time to grieve before she was knocked unconscious. When she woke up, she found herself in the trunk of a car. The one who grabbed her was the same dirty cop who had once sold her to Mother. Relying on sheer survival instinct, Il Young managed to turn the tables and kill the cop. She thought the cop had been sent by Mother to eliminate her, so she called Mother to confront her. Il Young demanded to know if she was really so unforgivable that Mother wouldn't stop until she was dead. Mother gave no explanation, only asked a few calm questions.
나 죽일 거니? 네.
As if she had already gotten the answer she was looking for, Mother then prepared a full meal and sat quietly, waiting for Il Young. After eating, Mother sat calmly on the sofa and spoke to Il Young.
이렇게 될 줄은 몰랐는데 이렇게 돼버렸네. 나 죽이러 온 거잖아. 할 거야 말 거야? 해보려고요. 한다 안 한다지 해본다는 없어. 엄마. 결정은 한 번이고 그게 우리 방식이야.
She kept provoking her, pushing her to the edge until Il Young finally snapped and stabbed Mother. Mother didn't resist. Instead, she smiled, as if relieved, and said goodbye to Il Young. From that moment on, Il Young proved she could kill someone who once felt like family. From now on, her actions would no longer be ruled by emotion. Everything Mother had done was to shape Il Young into someone like herself, cold, ruthless, and capable of holding power. In truth, Mother had always favored Il Young deep down, because in her, she saw the person she once was. The movie ends,